Okay, so guys, we need to be on high alert over the next few days because things are going to get pretty crazy. Storm Prediction Center issues a severe threat 3 out of 5 for today with severe threat level 4 out of 5 tomorrow. Tornadoes will be a major concern along with extreme damaging winds and large hail. We could potentially see some wind gusts over 80 miles per hour, hail up to 2 inches in diameter, and maybe a few tornadoes being over EF2 to EF5. Hey, what's going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys have been staying safe, and I hope you guys are doing alright. So we're going to be discussing in terms of what we can expect here down the line, as well as what's currently happening here across the nation. So guys, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor, consider hitting that subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I believe we can do it soon, guys. So if you're not already, hit the subscribe button. It'll be greatly appreciated. Alright guys, so we're taking a look at the radar view in regard to what is currently kicking off here across the nation. Starting off with the upper northwest, we're actually dealing with a bit of moisture that's driving its way across the region here. Now areas here of Portland and towards Seattle, Washington and Oregon State, we're actually seeing a bit of rain across those areas there, but as you move to the east, across those upper elevations where it is a bit colder, it actually transitions from rain into snow, a little bit more of the wintry precipitation around those areas there. So, we'll go ahead and zoom out here to bits of the other side of the Rockies here, across bits of Colorado, basically just southeast of Denver. We're dealing with a little bit of snow that's currently kicking off here as well. Areas near Hugo, near Cheyenne Wells here as well, near Burlington. We're currently seeing a little bit of snow that's currently kicking off. Now watch this. As we move our way down here to the southern plains, in through bits, of Texas, into Oklahoma and Kansas, we're starting to see a lot of that moisture drive its way up here from the Gulf of Mexico, starting to drive in all of that warm air, which is going to fuel this severe weather event for today and for tomorrow. So, then we move our way up here to the northeast. Honestly, it's relatively clear for the most part, across the mid-Atlantic and the Ohio Valley, as well as the northeast, maybe a few rain showers across bits of Maine, as well as bits of Wisconsin, into bits of Michigan, and maybe a little bit of rain that's currently kicking off here across the regions there. But other than that, guys, across the east, it's relatively clear for the most part. Overall, a pretty nice day, but this is not going to last for long. Okay, guys, so now we talk the severe weather threat. Now, we're going to be going over exactly where you can expect severe weather. So, give me a favor, guys. If you know anyone that's in these areas here, as well as if you're personally in this area, let them know to be on alert here for today and tomorrow. Like I said, we'll be discussing both the sides of this event here for today and tomorrow, because like I said, things are going to get pretty nasty. Okay, so guys, there's 4 shades that we need to go over here, and I'm going to explain exactly what they mean. So, we have a light green here. This is basically showing that maybe some thunderstorms might fire off. This does cover a bit of the Midwest, the central, and basically the eastern southwest here. So, this is basically, like I said, just showing maybe where some thunderstorms might pop off, but they're not expected to be severe by any means. Now, once we started to move into the dark green, this is where things become a little bit more concerning. Areas here of Oklahoma City, just basically north here of San Angelo, where this dark green shade is. This is the lowest severe end, but this is still showing we could maybe see some severe weather. Like I said, all types of severe weather is expected here for today as well as tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is going to be a bit worse. We'll discuss that here as well. So, then we move on to the yellow. This is where things become a little bit more concerning here. This is basically just south here of Houston, basically near Corpus Christi, just north of that. This is severe threat level 2 out of 5. A little bit more of a higher probability of severe weather, as well as maybe even more severe here. Now, once we move into the orange, this is where the biggest threat if severe weather is for today. Unfortunately, this does include the major populated areas here of Dallas as well as Houston. This actually got shot up here to the north a little bit since the last time I saw this yesterday. Last time we looked at the stream yesterday. This has actually gone up north, so the severe threat has actually extended a bit here for today. This now does include Dallas. So, this is where we need to be very, very cautious for today. Like I said, if you know anyone across these areas here, do me a favor, give them a heads up. And if you personally live there, guys, I want you guys to have a plan. I want you guys to be ready in case of a warning is issued. Like I said, worst case scenario, if a tornado warning is issued, you need to know where to go. And we recommend going to the central and lowest portion of a building or your home. Now, if you're not near a building, if you're out driving, you should not be in your car because these storms can outrun you, as well as you got to think. Power lines could be falling down here. So go out of your car, go to the lowest portion of a ditch, and cover your head. That is the best place or the best thing you can do. Okay, so in regard to tornadoes for today, we do have a 10% significant chance. Now, what that means, you might notice that there is 2 shades of yellow here. So the second shade, the more interior shade, is basically showing we could see a 10% chance of seeing tornadoes being EF2 to EF5. This is where the biggest threat for tornadoes is. Like I said, this does include Houston as well as Dallas. So, then we move out here. There's another shade of yellow. This is basically just showing that there's a 10% chance we could see a general tornado across the region there. 5% chance across the brown as well as a 2% chance across the green. So, if you guys are in any of these shades, you have the chance for tornadoes for today. Now, in regard to hail, we actually do have a 30% significant chance, covering a lot of ground here, as well as a 15% 50% significant chance. So what this means is that we could see some hail instances of up to 2 inches in diameter and greater. Just imagine 2 quarters stacked on top of each other. That's about how big a hailstone could get. Maybe even a little bit bigger. We'll see how things play out today, because things are going to be pretty interesting. Like I said, we will be live during this event here today and tomorrow to give you guys all the coverage you need to know in real time whenever the storm does kick off. So 15% chance here of normal hail, basically up to 1 inch in diameter and greater, as well as a 5% chance, a little bit lower of a probability, but the same threat is there. The greatest chance for hail is across these areas here, especially once you move into that 30% zone, right around in here. This does include Dallas and Houston. This is where we are seeing the possibility of some big hailers here for today. And then lastly, in regard to damaging winds, we do have a 30% chance of seeing damaging winds, likely up to 70, 80 miles per hour being a possibility, 15% chance across the yellow, and a 5% chance across the brown. So these are the overall areas here of where we are expecting that type of severe weather here to occur today. So there is a lot of potential here. We need to monitor this very, very closely. Alright, so guys, now we're moving on here to the models. We'll go over the day 2 outlook here after this. I just want to go ahead and discuss what is expected to happen here in regard to the models. So, we track down here in time. Now, you will notice that we get all of that advection, all that warm air that we actually are currently seeing drive its way up here. We're seeing these dew points here rise into the 60s and 70s, which is showing a lot of moisture at the surface, which is needed for severe storms as well as potential tornadoes to occur here for today and tomorrow. So then there's another ingredient we look at. We look at instability in the atmosphere. This is basically looking at thunderstorm fuel here, and we're actually seeing a bit of an uptrend in instability here across bits of Louisiana. So basically, you want to look at these values here in the 500s and higher. You know, over 1,000 is typically the best ballpark zone here, and we are just seeing that. You know, honestly, we're actually seeing some areas here near 3,000 joules per kilogram. That is a lot of energy in the atmosphere, so we have a lot of moisture and a lot of energy in the atmosphere to allow for severe thunderstorms. Now, here's another major component. This is the lower level winds across the atmosphere, and we want them to be northerlies at around 40, 50 knots or so, in which we are actually seeing that. Some instances over 50 knots. Now, this is going to provide a significant lower level jet, a very, very strong wind field at the lower levels of the atmosphere, which is going to allow for tornado genesis to occur, basically for tornadoes to really kick off here. This is a major component that is needed for tornadoes to kick off here. So look at this. So we have our strong northerlies here at the surface. We'll go ahead and draw a line here, basically pointing to the north, basically in the direction of these winds. And then we move up to the upper or the mid portions of the atmosphere, and we actually do see that this actually does change direction here, basically to the northeast. Now, what this is showing is that we are seeing a bit of wind directional change as you go up in the atmosphere, which allows for spin to kick off with some of these thunderstorms that might produce, which might allow for them to be rotating thunderstorms, also known as supercells. So that's why tornadoes are a major concern here for today and tomorrow. Alrighty guys, so now we're moving on here to tomorrow's outlook in regard to things. Now you might notice there is another shade here showing that things are going to be a bit worse tomorrow, at least as forecasted. So, like I said, we do have this light green shaded color, basically showing that maybe some thunderstorms might pop off, not expected to be severe. Severe threat level 1 out of 5 across the, dark green. This does include bits of Dector, basically just east of Montgomery. This is basically south of Shreveport and east of Houston. As this cold front does progress its way here to the east, it will drive the severe threat along with it. So, then we do have the yellow. This is basically showing you near Pensacola, near Montgomery. This is where severe threat level 2 out of 5 kicks in, and then we start to move into the really interesting things here. So, severe threat level 3 out of 5 across the orange, basically just north of Jackson. This does include New Orleans. Now, here's where things really get bad, okay? We have severe threat level 4 out of 5 across the red. Now, these are the events that can be pretty nasty, and like I said, we are expecting a widespread severe weather outbreak to occur today and tomorrow, with tomorrow being the worst. So this does include Jackson, Mississippi, and if you guys know anyone here across these regions at all, give them a heads up now. Let them know, because tomorrow is not going to be friendly. Like I said, we're going to cover this live, guys. We're going to give you all the information you need to know to be prepared. So, guys, like I said, during these type of events, say worst case scenario, you do get hit by a tornado. Like I say in my live streams, I do recommend that you have 2 different items. We recommend that you have a pair of shoes as well as a helmet. The helmet will protect your head if debris is flying all around you, if your house unfortunately does get hit in worst case scenario. And the shoes will help you after the event, because you got to think there's going to be all types of sharp objects. I mean, nails, glass, sharp, sheet metal, all types of sharp objects. And the last thing that the hospital systems need is a lot of, a lot more injuries, because they're already probably dealing with a lot from the tornado itself. So That's what we're talking about, guys. So make sure you have those items ready. First aid kit is obviously something you should also probably have with you. I just want you guys to be prepared. I want you guys to stay safe. So if you know anyone in these areas here, do me a favor and give them a heads up. Okay, guys. So in regard to tornadoes, we actually do have an even larger tornado threat here for tomorrow. We have a 15% significant chance. This does include Jackson, Mississippi. This is showing a 15% chance we could see a tornado over EF2 up to EF5 being possible. We have a 10% chance of the same thing, EF2 to EF5. And then we do have an even smaller, it's kind of hard to see, another shade of yellow, just where, your generalized tornado threat is basically up to 10%. 5% chance across bits of the brown here, as well as a 2% chance across the green. So this is your overall tornado threat here for tomorrow, with the greatest threat kind of being right in here. This does include New Orleans as well as Jackson, Mississippi. So this is the greatest areas here of tornadoes we are seeing here for tomorrow. Okay, so then we move on to hail for tomorrow. Now, hail is not really going to be as bad as it's forecasted for today. However, we do have a 30% chance of seeing hail likely up to 1 inch in diameter and greater. This also does include Jackson and New Orleans here. 15% chance of, that hail across the yellow, and a 5% chance across basically the brown shaded color. So this is where we are expecting our hail. Then we move on here to the wind potential. Now, this actually grows a little bit in size here. Damaging winds likely up to 70 plus miles per hour here. 30% chance across the red, a 15% chance across the yellow, as we did see, as well as a 5% chance here across bits of the brown shaded color. But anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap up the quick little update for you guys. Like I said, we will be live later on today and tomorrow for this upcoming event. If you guys are still here, obviously, thank you all so much for all your support. You guys are the best. And if you are still here, leave a comment, hot dog, down in the comments below, just so I know that the real supporters are there. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. You guys truly mean everything to me. Thank you all so much. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. But guys, hope to see you all later on the live stream. And I'll catch you guys later on.